So I had this really great cold opening idea where I was going to put my Marvel Legends X-Men Maggot here and go, yo, Maggot! And I realized I don't have Maggot anymore, so just pretend he's here. Hey YouTube, what goes on? And welcome to Disavowed Action Figures, bringing you another action figure review. Today, taking a closer look at the recently arrived G.I. Joe classified Sergeant Slaughter action figure. Super excited to get this in hand. Shout out and thank you to friend of the channel, Art G, for giving us a heads up that this was available in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. I did not even have it on pre-order. He gave me the heads up. I ordered it. It came within 4 or 5 days. Boom, here it is in hand. I'm so excited to have this thing in my collection. I did have a pre-order to Hasbro Pulse. I canceled that. I don't need 2 of this. And here he is. So as usual, we'll take a closer look at the packaging, get this guy out of the box, take a look at his accessories, see how he moves, and my favorite part of the video, do some fun comparisons. And before we get to any of that, I just have to add, Sergeant Slaughter as a human is an amazing guy. If you didn't have the opportunity, go over to the Hasbro Pulse YouTube page. When they did have their Hasbro event a few weeks ago, he did about a 30-minute interview with the G.I. Joe Classified team. He is just a good human. As a caveat to that, I had the opportunity to actually meet the Sarge in Hamburg, Pennsylvania in very late summer, 2022, this past summer, where I was able to interview him for a few minutes. He did end up actually autographing one of my Bobby Vala Valaverse Sergeant Slaughters from Action Force. Just a genuinely great guy to talk to. I'll put a little clip of that right here for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then we're getting right to the review.
I have to tell you, it's been such an exciting last couple of years. Watching you make your deal with Bobby Vala, that was a very exciting announcement. Now seeing you back in Hasbro, so cool, man. Congratulations on yesterday. Pre-order. I got my pre-order in, so I got it in, man. The 8-year-old in me did not take long to jump online and say, I need Sergeant's new figure.
And at the end, I will link that entire basically wrestling event and interview with Sarge to this video. So again, this is the first single carded G.I. Joe we're getting, I believe, in the cardboard box. It again is number 53, as you can see. Artwork on the front is fantastic. We get some comic book art here. I believe this is from the animated movie. That looks like it's an actual picture of the figure. Really cool part we get as an accessory, which we'll take a look at pretty shortly, is going to be that he gets his own action figure here with the packaging. Good amount of accessories with this. On the back, we do get that kind of G.I. Joe classified mock-up they're showing us now, where we get the exact height of the figure with all the accessories going way around. And again, another image here of the actual figure. Bottom legally is all the nonsense. If this helps you at all, there is the barcode. All right, let's get him out of the packaging and talk about Sergeant Slaughter. So for anybody wondering how this was going to be packaged, if you have the Amazon exclusive Blue Ninjas, that 2-pack, very similar. We get the cardboard insert, cardboard box inside the box. We get the twisty ties, the rope going on there to hold the figure in place. And then what I really enjoy, I think this is a really cool use of the extra cardboard, we do get the weapons locker. We got this at the Blue Ninjas. Here we have the number 53, which is the designation of this particular figure, which will hold all of Sarge's accessories. I'm going to open this off camera because these things can be a pain in the butt. And here is the Sarge out of the packaging, and he looks freaking amazing. Let's take a closer look at the aesthetics of this figure itself. Then we'll take a look at the accessories. We'll do some articulation, then we'll see how he moves. So that head sculpt, first and foremost, looks pretty freaking cool. I will say, as I glance to my left over at my Valaverse Action Force Slaughter, I feel like the chin is not as pronounced as it should be. But keep in mind, this is an animated version of Sarge. This is not the real life version. They did a great job here with the tank top. That is in all black, as you can see. We do get the camo pants, obviously. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I believe these are the same legs we got with Gung Ho and also our Roadblock figure. At least that's what I think looking at them. Again, nice cargo package pockets here on the side. The boots and the laces look great, like all the Joes tend to do. Again, the texture here in the pants looks fantastic. We get some yellow here on the belt buckle, some white going around on the belt itself. On the back, we get the peg hole in the back of the back. Little bit of an awkward look there on the back with the head. I'm not quite sure what that's about. But again, the paint on mine looks pretty good overall. You also do get the painted wristbands here down along the wrist. But overall, this thing looks pretty freaking cool as far as I can tell. A little bit of scuff or paint here on the back of the tricep from what I can tell. But overall, aesthetics look pretty freaking cool on this guy, and he's freaking jacked. So the accessories, again, do come packed in the weapons locker. Also, we get Sergeant Slaughter there with the combination code on the front to open it up. They will come packaged two ways inside. We do get them in the fortified pieces of cardboard wrapped around for the gun and some other things, which we'll pop these out momentarily off camera. And then also we do get that really cool tissue paper going on, which does hold the other accessories in it with the G.I. Joe and Cobra logos on it. And I just think this is a nice little touch for the packaging. So taking a closer look at the, I'd say, plentiful amount of accessories, tons of freaking hands. In all, counting the fists that are on the figure when it comes in the packaging, you do get 4 sets of hands. So 3 extra sets here, 2, 4, 6, and then the 2 fists. You get basically the trigger hands going on right there. So there's a trigger hand for each hand. In addition to that, we get the grabbing hands, which I believe are to be used for grabbing and holding the actual action figure that comes with him. And we also get 2 pointing hands, because we know Sarge loves to point at those maggots. Other accessories, of course, we get his freaking hat. It's a nice soft plastic. We'll throw that on Sarge momentarily. Here, we get some really tiny pieces of the gun, so be careful. We get the gun itself. This came out pretty cool. Again, I'm not a gun guy, admittedly. We get some brown paint there on, I guess it's the stock, and also underneath right there. We get the flashlight piece that will go on the side of the gun. Again, working with very, very small pieces here, folks, so you got to be careful attaching these things while you put them on. In fact, I might just do this off camera. I just had it on momentarily. I don't want to struggle with it and take too much time, so I'll pop that on momentarily. You do get also the small, I always say clip. I know that's wrong. Magazine, I believe, is the correct terminology. Let me know in the comments, but I know I should know this. You do get his iconic whistle that will go around his neck, obviously, right there. You do get his crop, or he likes to call it his swagger stick, as he mentioned it in his Hasbro Pulse interview for the HasCon. And I will add this. Nice touch. They put the sunglasses in their own separate piece of cardboard for protection, just like Orange Cassidy back there or other figures with glasses. Be very careful not to drop this into the carpet. These came out nice. You get the silver on the lenses, sort of like the aviators. On the inside, not a lot going on, just the plastic. But overall, lots of great accessories. And the thing that I was most excited about, although now somewhat underwhelmed, is the action figure. I do like the fact we do get some nice detail on the packaging. It is a very small figure. What I wanted to compare it to was this. So if you haven't seen these before, the world's smallests, they do Transformers, other iconic toys, obviously G.I. Joe right here, He-Man. This is what was more of what I expected, which I shouldn't have, because this is just, I'm guessing, a piece of cardboard in the plastic shell. You can see right here, you pop that out. It's somewhat collector friendly, whereas this is so freaking cool. If you don't have these, they're worth checking out if you can find them. Sometimes they're on sale at Target. This was Snake Eyes. I wish they would have given us something closer to this, but I get this being a hard plastic would have cost more money. But again, this pops open in the back. You can see right there. But overall, I think we got an ample amount of accessories with this figure to make him what we want to make him into. And before we get to donning him with all of his accessories, let's take a look at articulation. You're getting your standard G.I. Joe classified articulation here. Head will rotate all the way around. Just be careful. He has rather large traps to get around. It will look down, not that far. It will look back a little bit better, I guess. I think this neck piece could do more than it does. I have to heat that up and see what's going on there. As far as the arms go, you do get pretty far up, just about to a T, maybe a little bit further. You do have the butterfly joints on here as standard with the classifieds. Upper bicep swivel, as you can see. Shoulder joint will rotate, obviously, all the way around. You do get the double jointed elbow, although, as you can see, we do have pins in there. It's not pinless. Wrist rotation goes all the way around. It will rotate laterally, not up and down. But again, rotates all the way around in a circle. As far as the legs are concerned, you get the drop-down legs, which if you've watched my channel, you know I don't like those very much, unfortunately. Double jointed knee. Be careful. I really had to work this. That was very tight to get that to do the actual double jointed function, but be careful with that. You do get the upper thigh cut going on. You do get the boot cut, which is always nice right there. Foot will go very far down. Ballerina Sarge right there. Also very far up, which is nice. It is on that rocker, which we all love. As far as waist, we have a waist cut right there for the swivel. Torso, he looks down extremely far, which does help with him looking down. He will look back relatively far as well, and you do get some extra back there with this waist piece. Be careful. This seems not loose, but just a little too malleable for me. This will go all the way around, but I don't like doing that with my figures. But yeah, articulation, pretty standard, what you'd expect with a G.I. Joe Classified. Let's get the accessories on Sarge to see what he can really do. And just being thorough, I hate screwing with that drop-down leg, but you can pop the leg up very far, kicking forward. Be careful bringing that back down. A little bit back, as you can see right there. And again, working that drop down very far out, basically 90-degree T on the side. But I always say be careful of those drop downs because I just don't trust them. And Sarge here on the rotating base with all of his accessories. He could hold the gun very well. I did decide to put the swagger stick in his hand. As we take a closer look here at the actual head, you can see that the glasses, the hat do look very good once you do get them on there along with the whistle. I feel like the whistle does ride up a little high in the back, so let's be careful that doesn't encumber your articulation on the head. But again, the hat, everything looks great on this guy. I really do appreciate all the extra hands. I will be utilizing the hands in the pointing mode as well as to hold the action figure later on in the video while we do some comparisons. But I just wanted to have you take a close look at this guy as I'll probably have him posed on my shelf. Now let's get to one of my favorite parts of these different reviews. Let's do some overall comparisons with some G.I. Joe Classified figures and some other lines. And here is our quickly evolving Sergeant Slaughter collection, our new Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified right here. This would be the Mattel Elite Series number 89, which would be the Sergeant Slaughter from his Triangle of Terror days from SummerSlam 1991, I believe. And then we have the Valaverse version 1 Sergeant Slaughter right there from the Action Force wave. You can see as far as how they size up, the Sarge from the G.I. Joe Classified is much taller than the Valaverse. Keep in mind, this is more meant to be like an actual human as opposed to the cartoon representation of Sergeant Slaughter, from what I understand. As well as the, as I mentioned, Mattel WWE Elite. Looking at them, I believe the Elite is the tallest of the figures. Wrestling figures do tend to run a little bit taller, I believe. Again, followed by the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified and the Valaverse. And then right back here, special shout out to Hard to Find Toys. Check them out online. They were super freaking cool. Get me this within a day or two so I can get it signed by Sarge himself at the aforementioned show in Hamburg, Pennsylvania that I mentioned earlier here in the review. And again, I'll link that at the end if you'd like to see how that event was and some more of my interview with Sergeant Slaughter. And I have to say, I love how he autographed this. Sarge throwing his chin right there. So freaking cool. So much fun. As far as some other comparisons are concerned, here's Sergeant Slaughter standing with some other fellow G.I. Joe Classified figures. That is the Blue Ninja from the Amazon exclusive 2-pack. And for an idea how he scales with the female buck, here he is standing with the original Lady J that we received. And I believe it was Wave 2, or Wave 3 possibly, of the G.I. Joe Classified series. And as I'm sure all Sarge fans want to see, him ripping the bats apart one by one. Here is how he scales with the G.I. Joe Classified Bat Army Builder, as well as the Crimson Twins themselves, Zaymot and Tomax, also recently released G.I. Joe from the most recent wave. Here is Sergeant Slaughter standing with some Marvel Legends, our more recently released Spider-Man Renew Your Vows with the toe joints that we all love so much, as well as another soldier lost in time, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier comic book version. And first comparison with some other lines, here is the Sarge standing with the NECA TMNT, Raphael in Disguise from the Raphael and Casey Jones TMNT movie 2-pack, and of course, the bad Bastish himself, Lobo from the DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys line. And last, and as everybody likes to say, certainly not least, here is our new G.I. Joe Classified Sergeant Slaughter action figure, standing with our Jazzwares unrivaled Orange Cassidy from AEW. And believe me, Orange Cassidy standing there with those sunglasses on his face knows a thing or two about not wanting to drop his sunglasses into the carpet. All right, everybody, the big eternal question. Who made the best Sergeant Slaughter? Was it Valaverse? Was it Mattel? Is it Hasbro? My answer to that question is all of them, none of them, not for me to decide. I love them all. I really love the Valaverse figure. I really enjoy this Hasbro as it's new in my hand. The Mattel, also as a wrestling figure, has a special place in my heart as well. But overall, only you can decide what your favorite Sergeant Slaughter is. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I'm here to tell you how I like the money that I spent. And although this was slightly overpriced, but everything is nowadays, I'm happy to have it. All the hands, the hat, the whistle, the sunglasses, the swagger stick, the little action figure, although small, is a really cool idea. Overall, absolutely love this thing. If you didn't see my earlier videos this summer, I had the opportunity, not just, as I said earlier, to interview Sergeant Slaughter, but I also had the chance to go watch G.I. Joe the movie in the theaters. It was an absolutely magical experience as an adult, flashing back to the nostalgia of being a kid, seeing this guy on screen, loving the animated representation, and this is sheer size. This guy is freaking ripped, huge muscles, big traps, just an awesome looking action figure on your wall or on your shelf. So let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite Sergeant Slaughter action figure in the 6-inch line? We're not going to get into 3 3/4 stuff, guys. That's just way too many. But let me know in the comments which one you like the most. Are you picking up this particular G.I. Joe Classified Sergeant Slaughter? And let me know also, as we talked about earlier, are you starting to feel some fatigue on G.I. Joe Classified? As we fill in all those characters we really want, you know, I don't feel I need every single Joe on my shelf. I have lots of Cobra already. Mindbender's on the way, Serpentor's on the way. I'm slowly might start thinking about just kind of pumping the brakes here. But everybody, thanks for watching again. If you're new, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It is free for you. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps us grow the channel tremendously. Hit that bell for notifications. That way YouTube actually will tell you when we post new content here on the channel, like our weekly toy hunts, reviews, and live streams. Leave a comment down below, hit that like button. And for daily toy content and daily toy updates, check us out over at Instagram at Disavowed_12. Hey everybody, if you're going toy hunting this week, please try to remember the 3 P's of the toy hunt. Patience, persistence, but most of all, politeness. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing all of you at the pegs.